Hi, Jeff Radecki from IT World Canada. I'm a web designer slash developer, and I'm going to show you a few of the things with the Blogging Idle backend and go over how to write posts, how to add images, how to add videos, and then a few things about the backend you might not have known, and maybe a few tricks you'll pick up along the way. So what I'm going to want to do is start off the user experience. Just come to the site and log in. I'm going to log in as another one of the IT World people here, Chris Guest. And so now that I'm back in the admin system, I can show you a few things. So basically you come in, you're going to have, it's going to say howdy Chris Guest, log out, help, forums. Those are just resources you can use. And then your main areas are write, manage, and comments. And that's where you can see comments on the posts that you have written. So I'm going to start off by writing a post. Since I don't actually have time to write the post, I'm going to take one from one of our websites. So Canada's IT shortage persists despite layoffs. So jump back in here, that's the title, and I can also grab this from the post here. So grab the body of it, and we're going to put that in the post body. So this one looks pretty good, but one of the things that we've ran into so far, and one of the things that's going to continue to happen, is a lot of people do things in Microsoft Word before they do them anywhere else. So basically they create it in Microsoft Word, get all the spell check, which is what I usually need, but then when they copy that and paste it into this body of the article, a lot of, well, I call it garbly-goop, but essentially it's just extra formatting tags that Word stays in, keeps in because it's a rich text editor, so it's trying to keep all your bolds and your font size equals 12 points and all that, but it puts a lot of extra code in the back end, and you can see it if you jump to the HTML view. You can see this one's pretty clean, but some of the times when you have weird formatting issues or a weird font size, that's what it is. The easiest way to get around that is if you were to first copy the text, run it in something like Notepad, and then you pasted it in and then copied from there again and then pasted in, it will it'll get rid of a lot of that extra formatting. You won't have any font issues. And then there's a few other things. Tags are pretty important, so you can see that this is about Microsoft, so we're going to want to keep Microsoft in the taglines, and that's just going to help so that people are searching for keywords specific to what it is that you're using, or what it is that you're writing about, then the more likely they are to find it if it's tagged well and categorized well. And then as I go down further, you can see the excerpt. That's not really necessary because of a thing we call the more tag. I'm going to jump to that in a second. Custom fields, trackbacks you won't need. Comments, you can basically, if it's something that you don't want people to comment about, you can turn that off, as well as pinging. But pinging isn't really, it's probably not going to concern you very much. And you can also password protect a post. It's not really useful for the Blogging Idle contest, but it's useful for some WordPress things where you can basically create a group or manage an event, but then only have people that know the password be able to get in. So the more tag I was talking about is basically what it is that you can insert it. It looks like kind of a page broken in half, but what it is, it'll show up as it's called the more tag, and that'll just on the front page of the site. You can see how the posts get arranged in chronological order on the left, and you can see this Windows 7 example has actually done that. So the actual article is longer than it appears here. So he's inserted the more tag just after this picture. And then when you click on read the rest of this entry, it'll take you directly to that post page with the rest of the article. The reason why that's important is because if there was no more tag, you can picture this as being the first, the home page of the site. The first article would go all the way down to, and then the second article would come underneath, but you're already, halfway down the page, and then you'd get kind of a really enormous page at that point. So that's what the more tag's about, and then you can also save, publish, or preview, and you can also change the status. So that means you can just save things to a draft to come back at a later point, or you may have an incomplete thought, but you just want to jot it down, and then when you go back there, you can finish the article, and it's already loaded up for you. And then there's this one, it's kind of hidden now, but basically, by default, it's set to publish immediately. So when you click publish, it's going to publish right when you're done. You can edit those parameters. So technically, you could spend your Sunday night creating all your blogs for the week, change the dates and times that they're posted at, and that's when they'll actually publish the article, and they'll do that to the site, and they'll do that automatically. This is very useful when, say, you're going on vacation, or you're not going to be around for a couple of days, or even just to, sometimes through IT World, we have access to a lot of resources and information on how people browse and when they browse, and sometimes a day are better than others, but they're not always convenient times to do it. Like, say, 4:45 is a popular time, but you can't always have an article ready for that time, but you could start it at 9 in the morning and then publish it at 4:45 automatically, and then it would go through. It might get more traffic because of just the time that you've posted it. For this article, I'm simply going to publish it right now, so I'll leave it on the default setting. And then when I go to visit the site, I should see my Canada's IC storage. So this is my thing. It's been split by the more tag, and I can read the rest of the entry. You'll notice that even though I just viewed it, it still has 0 views. That's because as a logged in user, I'm not counting in the view count.